Hi, so I've noticed a trend with my videos recently, which is that whenever I show one of my arms in my videos, for some reason the video in particular triggers people more than usual. I'm not sure why that would be the case, but in order to keep the trend going, here is a glimpse at one of my arms. Now, with that out of the way, let's proceed with today's video concerning ReviewTechUSA and his very dumb audience. So, I've said before that ReviewTechUSA's audience is comprised of children and people with disabilities, people who don't work, they don't live outside of their parents' back bedroom, they don't live in the real world, they don't have real world responsibilities, etc., etc. And I'm not making fun of people with disabilities. I'm just saying that that is obviously his entire audience base. Because if you read the comments section on any of his Nintendo Switch 2 news dump videos, it is more than apparent that there is not one grown adult in there who works a job, who has bills to pay, etc., etc. Not one person of that description is watching ReviewTechUSA unironically. So ReviewTech is posting these videos complaining about like the price of the Nintendo Switch, and he even made a video talking about each and every accessory increasing in price by $5, as if that's a major news story. Apparently that breaks the bank for his audience, because that's an atrocity. An extra $5. If that's a big deal to you, an extra $5 on top of your Pro controller, maybe don't buy a Pro controller. Maybe don't buy the Switch 2. Maybe just stick to whatever you have and use your poxy savings more wisely than blowing them on a Switch console, okay? Just some friendly advice, okay? But anyway, yeah, his audience, they're either children or mentally challenged people who don't work or anything, okay? Because if you read the comment section on any of these videos, they're complaining about having to pay $80 MSRP for Nintendo's latest games. Now, if these people lived in the real world, they had responsibilities, bills to pay, they would know that the price of everything has gone up within the past couple of years. The purchasing power of the dollar as a mechanism for exchange of goods and services, its value has diminished over the years, especially in the last couple of years. So it should come of no surprise to these people that video games cost more. But obviously these people, they live with their parents. They don't pay bills. The only bills they pay is the $10 a month Nintendo Switch online subscription, apparently. Because they haven't noticed that the world is imploding. Inflation is crazy right now. And I have a question for these people, okay? So, you say that $80 is too much for a brand new video game. Okay, so what's a reasonable price? $60? How can you expect to pay $60 for a video game in, 2015, pay the $60 in 2020, pay $60 in 2025, year after year paying the same MSRP price? How can you expect to pay that with crazy inflation, but get the same product every single time, the same level of quality every single time? How can you expect that? Either the price has to go up, or they make up their money through cutting out content and selling it to you as DLC. Or they just release a shit game and then sell you microtransactions. Now, me, as a gamer, I'd rather have Nintendo maintain their same level of quality, whatever you think about their games. I'd rather have them maintain their same level of quality, with their first-party games, Mario is a staple in the gaming world, obviously. I would rather have them maintain the same quality and me pay slightly more than for Nintendo to, release trash for $60 just so they can maintain the same measly MSRP price. Okay? And then these people in the comment section, they're saying that, if we accept $80 for a Mario game, Grand Theft Auto 6 will be $100. Now, me personally, I'm not a big fan of Grand Theft Auto anymore, okay? It used to appeal to me as a child, but when I turned 16 years of age and I obtained my firearms license and I was able to shoot these in the real world, it kind of lost its appeal for me. Also, me obtaining a driver's license and a car and the ability to drive anywhere I want, it sort of ruined the excitement of holding a controller, sitting in front of a television screen, and driving around, Liberty City or whatever the Grand Theft Auto world is, okay? So that kind of ruined it for me. So I'm not exactly looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6. But if I was, I hope the price is $100 because that means that I'm getting a full-fledged story. I'm getting a big open world with hopefully, the attention to detail that we're so used to in the Grand Theft Auto games, Yeah. Like if Grand Theft Auto 6 came out and it was $50 MSRP, that would be very suspicious. I would assume that the story is gimped, it's lacking in content, and they're going to be making their money through microtransactions in the online section of Grand Theft Auto. So, yeah, I want to pay $100. I don't want to pay $60 for a GTA game in 2026 or 2027, whenever it comes out. Because if I'm paying $60, it means the game is gimped somehow. But these people don't understand that. They don't understand what inflation is because, they don't live in the real world. They don't have real world responsibilities. And someone in ReviewTech's comment section, they said they're charging $80 for their games because it's corporate greed out of control. Now, let me just use an analogy that you probably won't understand since you watch ReviewTechUSA. But if you work, right, let's say you work at Walmart, for example, and they pay you $15 an hour in 2019, right? And you work there for 6 years, and you're still being paid $15 an hour. However, in the meantime, your rent has increased, your grocery bills have increased, your transportation costs have increased to get to work and back, etc., etc. Wouldn't you ask for a pay rise? Isn't that exactly what you would do? Are you saying it would be greedy for you to ask for a pay rise? It's costing me, more to live in this area to be able to get to work every morning. I need to be compensated for this. Isn't that the discussion you would have with your employer? Are you saying it would be greedy to ask for a pay rise? Well, that's exactly what Nintendo are doing. They're delivering you the same product, but they're accounting for inflation. And yeah, it's a corporation. Obviously, they want to maintain their profit margin. They're not a charity. They're not here to give you shit for free. I know you live with your parents and you're used to getting everything for free, but that's not how it works in the real world, okay? And it should come of no surprise to me that the same people who subscribe to Review Tech, who says that, we should have free healthcare, which it's not free. Somebody somewhere is paying for it, okay? The same people who think you can have free healthcare and not actually be taxed for it. They're the same people who want Nintendo to release video games for $60 and maintain the same quality. Very stupid people. So, yeah, I mean, just to garner such a dumb audience, wow, it's just really embarrassing. But that's the audience you garner when you have these inane, drab videos bitching about a $5 increase in Nintendo Switch accessory prices. That's the type of person who gets attracted to your channel. Any other person who lives in the real world seeing the price of video games going up, we know it's a symptom of the global economic situation. It's not corporate greed. So, yeah. There you go. Review Tech subscribers are very dumb. What more can I say? Take care, and for anyone intelligent enough to not watch ReviewTechUSA, have a great day.